Yes, we do have. A very good afternoon, everyone. So good to see you, Prashant sir. And so good to have you with all of us back again in City University. All right, not taking much of your time and everyone else's time, I would just like to briefly introduce our esteemed guest for the day and the topic as well. It is today's expert talk is on building an innovation ecosystem. And talking about the topic, the detail would be given by our esteemed guest. Talking about innovation, research, or an ecosystem. So it is more or less like giving a good environment within a scenario, within any company or anywhere, so that everyone can innovate as such, right? So for enlightening us on the topic, we have amongst us Dr. Prasant, who is Deputy Dean Industry and Academia, and is also IIC President, and currently he is also Assistant Professor in Khalsa College of Engineering and Technology, Amritsar. A very warm welcome, sir. So I would like to also tell all my dear students and fellow colleagues who are there in the session today that Prashant sir was one of our faculty as well, and I can say. He was a good friend. He is a good friend too. So again, a very warm welcome, sir. So now just reverting everything to you and giving the stage to you for detailing on the topic.
Okay. Thank you so much for your warm welcoming, and thank you so much for Apurva ma'am to contact with me regarding for the session, and it will be a great pleasure for me to given the session on building an innovation and ecosystem. So without late, I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible now? Please check it.
So not yet. We're just waiting if the screen would be visible.
I hope it is visible now. Please check.
I'm still not able to see your screen. It is showing share screen, but your screen is not yet visible. Apurva ma'am, can you please see where the glitch is?
No, ma'am.
Because I'm not able to see his screen.
Ma'am, I'm also not able to see his screen.
I already shared that once.
Ma'am, let me check.
Pankaj sir, could you please check sir's screen is, yes, now sir it is visible.
Thank you. So basically in innovation system, everyone know that innovation and ecosystem is different, not a path. Both are in the different same path, but we have to finding different technological basis. So basically what as innovation, if I say that, basically everyone think that innovation means something new. That is not depend on totally new. Whenever you think any type of research or any type of innovation system, we can do that. That is, we can find on existing product also. Building an innovation ecosystem, it is a part of eco. It is a eco means as an environmental free base we need to develop that. Innovation, those things already existed, and you think innovate that and utilize that part of innovation system we are applying. So basically the innovation ecosystem means what? An innovation ecosystem is a team used to describe the various players, stakeholders, and community and members that are critical for innovation. An innovation ecosystem refers to a loosely interconnected network of a companies and other entities that conclave capabilities around a shared set of technologies, knowledge, or skills, and work cooperatively and competitively to develop new products and services. So all these type of services under the innovation ecosystem. Under the innovation ecosystem, there are some importance of ecosystem rules are there. Basically, what the depend upon your transformation of your idea into the reality facility. What type of ideas you have to thinking for the industry, for the convenient of the structures, and for the non-conventional structures to watch that. How? There is an ecosystem, we are building a process only, but which are innovators and entrepreneurs can also develop and launch solution to real world problems as a faster. These processes create expertise in new areas like diversity of the economy and allows to business to meet their customers where they are additionally an innovation ecosystem provide the means create economic stability and resource sharing. So we have in every campus, in university and colleges, they have a own innovation cell. Under the innovation cell, they have created innovation ecosystem processes into the campuses as well as into the industries. So you can talk with them as per the present ideas and present problem statements. You can take that and we can go ahead with the innovations ecosystem basis. So basically what, there is a environmental basis also there and non-environmental also there. Private organizations, government organizations also there, industries also there. In industries also there are different categories are there. After that, on these 4 categories basis, we can find the investment planning also as per the funding support. So on this cycle in innovation ecosystem, there will be a 7 steps of the innovation ecosystem. 7 steps we should follow that. The first of all, in the focus of how you can go ahead that for the existing innovation ecosystem. So consumer, customers, industry, marketplace, external organization, employees, business unit. So see this, the consumer and customers, that is the main part, and by rest all 3 are B categories. Industry, marketplace, events, it is required. Yes, without any promotion, without events, we can't do anything. External organization, yes, we should require some verification process, some find out process, some approval process to external organization. Who's the employees in innovation basis or innovators? Those who have developed some ecosystem basis on the problems, ideas, and strategically on that basis. Business units, those who have already stakeholders, then the categories. The area of focus is totally ideas, problems, and stages. As well that on sharing that, sustaining and disputing is both are required. On that both situation, the culture and insights, improvements and transformation will be created the new value. It means ideation, incubation and realization. These 3 steps we should follow according to the steps as per the requirement of our innovation ecosystem. But in between that, we should require innovation source also. What type of source you have to collect it on your innovation idea. As well as on that sources basis, you should require the lenses, licenses, everything is should require innovations and innovation engines. That engines means what? The sensitivity or disputing, all the things are required. And output then only came out. These 3 things of the methods are available with you. The 3 things are ideation, incubation, and realization is required. So on this basis only we can go ahead. In phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, there is a 7 steps are there. We should follow that. In stage 1, in phase 1 is that is ideation. In stage 1, the ideation and conceptualization is required. In conceptualization means what? What type of innovations you have to do that? What is your idea? You should discuss about that. In phase 1, stage 1, the idea development. What type of innovations you have done on your idea? How might it will be work to the public or peoples or the companies, organizations, you should explain that. In phase 1, in stage 2 category, same thing you should do that, but you should qualification of your idea. So that is the focus on your counsel. So focus on counsel means what? Does it make some for us? So that is the important thing. So these 3 stages in phase 1, it is required. So that is the stage 0, stage 1 and stage 2. So in stage 1, what is the idea? Sorry, in stage 0, what is the idea? In stage 1, how might it work? In stage 2, does it make it sense for us or not? It is a part of ideation. Now in incubation, it is a part of stage 3. The idea is prototype. That will be the approved by whom? Executive council member. It depends upon your universities and colleges and depends upon the ideas. How does it work? They can explain and they can improvement. In stage 4, under the phase 2, that is the production business planning. That will be a part of sponsor also on the situation basis or on the basis of you can get the opportunity to angel investors, you can take it here. So where does it work? It's depend upon the sponsor categories, you can do that. So incubation center is also part of sponsors. In phase 3, realization, that is the part of stage 5. The realization means what? Idea, launch and review. That is the part of your sponsors. So, okay, then idea refrigerator means what? What do we need to know? That is a part what we should to know about general business idea. If you are finding any new innovation idea, you should to about plan that general business idea. is there any other businesses are there or not, what type of sub businesses are there, what type of higher businesses are there. अगर मैं business कोई launch कर रहा हूँ, उस business के अंदर sub categories में कौन कौन है. Example, if I given that in Big Bazaar, if I example take that in Big Bazaar there is a different category, sub categories also there. In same thing in other malls also there, like we can take Easy Day, we can take Geo Mart. They are also same providing same product, but they are created some innovation ideas, innovation categories. So same thing you should think that. Then second point, inter partnerships that is required. Research needs, every idea should research is required. Then value proposition, extension partnership is required. Consumer feedback is most important part. Technology assessment, what type of technologies you have applied on your ideas, on your technology, that is required. Stakeholders feedbacks is also required, as well as the main thing is that consumer feedbacks will be depends upon the particular regular consumers as well as temporary consumers base also required. Market read lines is required. What did we do well, what did we not do well, that is required. These things we should to focus on our refrigerator. What are the key artifacts? The pipeline entries, concept brief, business cases, ideas, resume, business plan, performance finance, implementation plan, operation plan, review is required. See there, everyone will remember that in building an innovation idea, you should to focus on your 3 phases. That one is ideation, incubation, and realization. Under these 3 stages, there is a 7 stages are there. In 3 phases, under 6 stages are there. You should to focus on your idealization, idea development, idea qualification, idea prototype, and production and business planning is should required, and idea launch and review is also required. Under that basis only you can go ahead there. Under this, in the stage 0 innovation, that is called, in stage 1 also innovation part, but in stage 2 it is a focus council. What type of works you have done, the council will be focused on your idea, then they can execute your result to then pass it that incubation center. And after that incubation center, there will be sit an executive council. That executive council will approve for that sponsoring you want to take or not take, they will be give the grant. So on that basis, in stage 4 and stage 5, you will be receive the bus sponsor. The type of bus it is a part of your sponsor, you can get that. So that will be available on stage 4 and stage 5. You should to focus on these things on the innovation ecosystem is required. So whenever you're building any innovation ecosystem, these 3 stages is required. So basically what the simple formula for fostering the innovation, the idea, the talent, and money is always the required. But don't think about that first money and then idea, then the talent. If you have your unique idea, the idea will come out the automatically give the money, automatically give the talent, automatically give the approvalization. That depends upon your documentation create method, that depends upon your planning, that depends upon your algorithms, that depends upon your situation of created those things are friendly environment for people or not. That should to plan according that the simple forecasting, it will be helping that. Then the requisition for successful innovation components, the communities, the basically what is that the trust is required. Without trust, you can't do that. One is knowledge sharing and exchange is required. Another is social capital and affinity is required. Because why? Leadership means what? Always the innovation quality is required, but innovation communities also some to understand some ideas. The governance will be watched every time. What type of interactions you are providing to the people, what type of interaction to the support of your business will be helpful to the environment, they can check that. So now knowledge sharing and exchange, social capital and affinity, interaction is required, socialization is required. The learning process and communication of learning is always required for the innovation stage. Whenever you are the founder or you are owner, any one thing is that you should to plan your communication learning path is also required. The innovation pipeline, first of all, I told that on stage phase 1 only, you should to research yourself about your idea. If you have any development of your algorithm, you can develop that first. Then according to that development, according to your algorithm, you should plan your design structure about the products, about the technology, about the licenses, about the expenses planning and budget planning, everything you should to plan on design. Then produce your product to the testing market. Then go ahead with the presentation on your idea validations and everything. So that will be helpful to us. The innovation pipeline, this is will be go ahead. On that part, the chain linked model of innovation. See this is the main thing will be that the algorithm I created here. First of all, you should research. Research will be take for you as a 1 month also, as 1 year also, or 1 day also, or lifetime also. Because every idea should research every time, every second. Because आज मुझे अगर एक idea अगर generate हो रही है मेरा mind पे, यही same idea और किसी को भी generate होती है. And same idea और किसी जगह पे भी implement हो गया होगा. तो मुझे हमेशा रिसर्च करना बहुत जरूरी है मेरा इनोवेशन आइडिया के ऊपर बिल्ड करने के पहले. तो बिल्ड करने से पहले उस आइडिया को पैटेंट कर सकते हो, उस आइडिया को डिजाइन प्रोटोटाइप ले सकते हैं. सो डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर रिसर्च राइटिंग एथिक्स आल्सो. सो आपकी एल्गोरिथम शुड स्ट्रांग अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिसर्च, देन ओनली योर नॉलेज विल बी कीप ऑन दैट. So the knowledge and research is both will be helpful to you the development your business innovation idea. Then only you can create your distribute and marketing plan. Then the redesign and produce according to your consumer feedback, according to your client feedback, according to your investor feedback, according to your stakeholders feedback. Okay, then the detailed design and test you can do that. Then invent some new ideas and produce and again resell that into the product according to the market, potential market. So it will be the given research ideas. See this, I already mentioned that here D categories, I, A, C, so these type of cycle you should to plan that. Okay, so every cycle should plan that. देखो हर स्टेज पे एक रिसर्च भी होती है, नॉलेज को भी अप्लाई करना होता है. विदाउट नॉलेज यू कैन रिसर्च दैट, विदाउट रिसर्च यू कैन डू एनी टाइप ऑफ न्यू थिंकिंग. सो एवरी पोटेंशियल मार्केट के अंदर देखो, पहले अगर मैं मार्केट के अंदर प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कर रहा हूँ, दैट प्रोडक्ट विल बी गो टू द इन्वेंट एंड और प्रोड्यूस द एनालिटिकल डिजाइन. देन अगेन वी गो अहेड विद द नॉलेज, देन वी गो टू द रिसर्च. आफ्टर रिसर्च दैट विल बी रिकॉल दैट अगेन द प्रोडक्ट दैट विल बी सेल. So the model of innovation always linking with your research, always linking with your knowledge, always linking with your processing of the cycle is should require. Okay, innovation idea is ecosystem में लेके आना सबसे बड़ा biggest challenge है. Because देखो आजकल इतने टेक्नोलॉजी, इतने इनोवेशंस, टेक्नोलॉजी सेंसर्स हमें यूज करने के बावजूद भी हमें अपना प्रोडक्ट को टेक ऑफर नहीं कर पाते, अपना प्रोडक्ट को इवेंट्स पे नहीं दे सकते. तो दैट इज द मेन चीज. If you want to plan any type of distribution stage that will be required to us. So everything it will be helpful to. Give me a second, please. Give me a second.
Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second, please. 1 second, please.
All right, all right.
Give me 1 second, ma'am. I reconnect once.
All right, sir, no issues.
Sorry, now I'm audible now?
Yes, sir, you're very much audible.
Thank you so much. Sorry for inconvenience.
Not at all a problem, sir.
So that research basis, always we should think about our planning, and everything it will be depends upon the stage. Okay, so then what after this stage? So on these stages we should to follow according to our ideas. Then the innovation ecosystem always follows one ecosystem. The national innovation ecosystem is there. That is the figure 1. The image already by default available in the government of India site. You can check that. There is a growth is also there. Job standard is also can created. Wealth, competitive advantages. But nowadays we are same thing we are doing that, but we are focusing on technological basis also ecosystem is required. Environment friendly technology we are applying that. So accelerate level, quality, efficiency and profitability of innovations. Overall success metrics is required. The innovation is in demand. The demand is macro demand is a consumer, business, government. National priorities, market access, industry structure, technology difficulties and standards, profitability and stock evaluations and valuations. Same thing if I ask about innovation inputs, there is a creativity, research, knowledge and information is also there. In between of the both of side, in innovation under, we should to follow our policy, we should to follow our strategy, we should to follow our process, we should to follow our insights. On that basis, the innovation ecosystem will be helpful. So on that basis, we should require what? The talent. What type of talent? World-class innovators and adaptable workforces, science and engineering skills and management for the global talent. In investment, evaluating long-term innovations, multiple disciplinary research, early stage investment and service sector innovation. Infrastructure, world-class infrastructure, innovation, public and sector, regularity and legal system of 21st century IP system is required. IP means what? Intellectual property system. That is also we should to follow that. So on this figure, everything of the 21st century according to all the things are available. But nowadays the new technology is also added there in the innovation demand, the technological basis and digital LMSs, digital virtual labs, these things are already added here. Walkable distance live and 360 views as added here in ecosystem, as well as recycling products of our computer technologies, computer systems and everything, the reusability of your eco bottles and everything used on technology basis, we can do that in every sector. Now, so why models is matter and selecting portfolio of innovation policies, such it's depend very critical situation to how to select your portfolios in innovation policy. So if your idea, you are created your idea as a unique or anything of a new innovation is there, so you should to plan according to your joint industrial basis. If your idea will be interacted with any industry basis, then it will be helpful to that. So see this, I added here the joint industry government planning and interface standards. If you are in interface standard or in stage 1 only or stage 0 only, you can take the help of part of government industry, some plan. So that will be helpful to the commercialization. Then it will be easily to develop into the market development, and marketing planning assistant will be provided to the industry persons also. That will be helpful to that. Then automatically the value added will be there. But if without support you want to take, and see that I mentioned here in the science base, on science basis what the generic platform as a technology, then priority technology, then infrastructure technology is also there. There are both of separate. The generic what? The national labs, direct funding of firms, concerns and universities, they can do that. In the infrastructure basis, the direct funding of national labs, industries, customers. Okay, these all are the programs. And on the early stage and then again stage in the priority technology, there is a IPR is required, there is a tax invoice is required, there is a incubators will be should to be there, innovation centers, incubation centers as required to approve the letter is required. IPR, why it is required? Because if you are in technologically category, you should to technology ideas, you should to patent according to the IPR policy. Then same thing, then the third stage, the entrepreneurial activity and risk reduction. There is a two types of reductions are there. One is technology transfer, that is the entrepreneurial activity. Then is risk reduction, that is the assessment test of the standard national test specialization is there. So that basis only the strategic planning, commercialization, market development, value added, these things will be created. So it will be given the eco basis support will be there. Then the re-envisioning the innovation process, the practicing of a new paradigm for universities, colleges, in industries and government collaborations. There is a traditional is research, development, early manufacturing and the product to continue. In new paradigm, what? Industry as a partner. Then the work will be development in the research long term and early manufacturing short term. The development will be created equally. But nowadays what? The industry give the ideas and give the themes. We should to research ourselves, we should to do the our according to the plan. So then only the cycle will be continue on the stage by stage it will be moved. So why you should to focus on the three phases, the three stages, that is ideation, incubation and plan. So that is so to required to develop our ideas into the innovation ecosystem basis. Now, in innovation ecosystem and startup ecosystem, there is a difference are there. I'm explaining you now. The innovation via big companies and public sector, closed process and internal resources. See this. If you are doing that innovation ecosystem, you should to take any type of big companies or big public sectors you can take that. Example I can give you right now. When I join in my Khalsa college, after that I take with the project of ISRO. And under ISRO in Bangalore side, we have taken one project that is a ecosystem basis only. We take the research on the one of the device. I didn't disclose that name. On that device, we are doing that. That is the part of innovation ecosystem. So we are getting the all the grant total 25 lakhs. So we are doing on the work process for 5 years. We have a agreement with them. So that is come to under innovation ecosystem category. In closed process internal resources, that will be do that. As well as research IPR, if you are doing any type of work in your campus and outside campus, you can do your research as a patent. So that will be helpful to you. That innovation by the startup, it will be a very easy thing. You can do that on innovation ecosystem basis. The funding sources also you can get very easily. If your idea is validated or your idea will be approved by the incubation, then will be easily you can get the funding. The customer satisfaction is always required in everywhere. In a it will be in an innovation ecosystem or it will be in the startup ecosystem, it will be required to the satisfaction. But in startup ecosystem, there is just so lots of cycle out there. So you should to follow the innovation via big companies and public sector, same thing. But your innovation idea should validate first of all. Then the research IPR is also required. Funding support also you can get that. New funding solutions is also there. Okay, everything you can already there. Because in innovation ecosystem, it is the existing part. It is a new part. Okay, then service provider is will be getting easily. In innovation by startups, open collaborations and external resources is also required, and support organizations is should always you should to think that the consumer is a part of both of side is required. Okay, so innovation ecosystem and startup ecosystem both are same thing, only do that, but some stages are different. In innovation ecosystem, we should to follow 7 stages. In startup ecosystem, we should follow minimum 12 stages are there. PO1, PO2, PO3, PO4, PO5, every P1 to P12, PO1 to PO12. You can read that. That will be the helpful to that. As per the innovation policy, you can get that. The innovation policy is available under the Innovation Startup India. You can visit their website. There on that National Institute of Startup Policy. That on that policy, the PO1, PO2, PO3, everything are available there. You can read about the startup ecosystem. You can read about the innovation ecosystem is also available there. But don't forget about these stages. That these stages is always required. These phase 3, these three phases is required: ideation, incubation, and realization. Under these 3 stages, there will be again 6 stages are there. That is innovation, ideation and conceptualization. Second is development. Third one is qualification. Third one is prototype, production, business planning, idea launch and review. As well as you should to take the refrigerator. It means what do you need to know what are the key artifacts are required. You should to follow that. On that basis only you can do anything. Be remember what is the idea, how might it work, does it make some sense for us, how does it work, where does it work, what did we learn, that should require. And don't forget about your research. Every time the research and knowledge cycle is should to remember that. Without, if you are forget the research, you can't do without without research support, we can't do the knowledge support. So you should to require yourself potentially, you should work that. So that is the basis. That already see this I mentioned it. Detailed design and test and invent and or produce analytic design is should required. So these stages you should to follow on the innovation ecosystem building. On innovation ecosystem building, always given the environmental free, so it should be helpful to us. Okay, I am open for now questionings. If I have any questions, students, please ask yourself, even faculties also.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really wonderful. I just wanted to know a little more about the thing that you were talking about, that how ecosystem and innovation they match up. The last slide that you were talking about, could you please just brief a little bit on that?
Sure, ma'am. On ecosystem and
no, not ecosystem, how innovation and startups they match, because that's what you were explaining now. I missed little part of it. Could you please just
Sure.
give a little brief about the same?
See, basically what the how innovation will be works. The first of all, I can explain that the method of creating innovation to you should to discover yourself, that is a create and develop your idea, to refine them into useful forms and use them to earn profits, increase efficiency, the reduce cost is required. On that stage, I explained here what that I explained basically that there is a 2 types of differences are there. Again, I am showing that my PPT. Give me a second. In same
Yes, sir.
like stage, see that the innovation ecosystem and startup ecosystem, there is one different is there. Here we didn't require any type of collaborations or any type of external resources, but here we required open collaborative and external resources we should require. Okay, so and here see this why, because here is innovation ecosystem is not required, because we are doing innovation ecosystem under the existing products, but in the startup ecosystem we are doing in new innovations, new ideas we should to applying. That is the main reason of it. And here will be only given the funding sources, but in the startup ecosystem we getting some new funding resources also there, and some support also there from the other organizations, but here we can getting only the internal resources and public sectors or big companies support only we are getting that. So both our system is depend on that. So basically I provided one example. We are doing one of the I doing one of the research on ISRO technical product, that is an existing product, so I getting only support from the public sector and internal resources of my college or my campus, but in the startup ecosystem we can gain and asking any type of support from there. I hope you get the answer, man.
Yes, sir, certainly. I got a little confused. I thought that the innovation ecosystem was the first step towards your startup ecosystem.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
That's all right. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I think I don't. It's not just the thinking, the perspective. That is that from however the way you've just explained everything, that is certainly going to help the startup people who are starting with their innovation, or the people who actually want to become entrepreneurs. So certainly it was a wonderful session, a wonderful explanation on the topic, and certainly the differentiation between how innovative ecosystem could turn into a startup ecosystem as well. So thank you so much, sir. In case if there would be any question from the students, from the audience, I would revert the same to you for sure. And we would love to have you back again for such kind of wonderful sessions with us. Again, thank you so much for your wonderful time and explaining us a wonderful topic, which is actually need of the hour.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Pankaj sir, can we just present the token of appreciation to sir? So here, sir, just a token of appreciation from our side and a word of honor. So again, thank you so much for your valuable time and all the valuable input that you've provided to us. Thank you so much.